Hey everybody, I was just chilling here and thought that I would make a video talking about the Jackets and the portal this year. So, portal, of course, is opening here soon. I think it's Monday. Today's Thursday. So, I think this upcoming Monday the portal opens, and everybody's saying it's going to be a crazy year again, and it has been really for the past couple years. It's been crazy, and more guys have been transferring out of schools and stuff like that, and it's been, just absolutely crazy. A lot of guys entering, and not all of them finding homes. There's a lot that get left behind or whatever else it is. So, you got to be. I don't know. You'd think that this would happen a year or two in a row, and then things would calm down because guys realize they should probably be more careful about where they transfer. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and like the case of Jeff Sims last year, well, he transferred to Nebraska and regressed horribly and got benched. So, but then in the case of Haynes King, he comes and gets a fresh start and his career's turned around. So it just depends. It depends. So, I hope that the guys, on the Georgia Tech roster, really think it through, and try to, just think what's the best opportunity for him. Hopefully, we don't get a ton of guys that transfer out, and I don't think we will, to be honest. So last year they were saying, "Oh, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a crazy freaking transfer portal." Well, Georgia Tech remained pretty unscathed by it, at least in the first kind of round of it. So there's the winter transfer portal window, which, like I said, opens Monday, and then there's the spring, and we kind of got killed in the spring one. That's when we lost Samari Walton and Akilo Stone. I think last year around this time, the only big player we lost, which was Jeff Sims, of course. Although it was just kind of time for Jeff Sims to go, so I don't really count him as a huge loss in the transfer portal. I don't think a lot of people would. The only huge loss that we had was Nate McCullum, and he was one of those that went there and done a whole lot of nothing at North Carolina, a whole lot of nothing. So, besides Nate McCullum this time last year, we did pretty good in the transfer portal at retaining our players, and that was one of the benefits of hiring Brent Key, is that all of the players on the roster wanted him and loved him and rallied behind him, and so because of that, you saw a lot of the players stay. He was able to retain them all because he had built the relationship. They were excited that he was becoming the full-time head coach, and they were excited to keep playing for him. And to be honest, I don't see why that would be any different this year, because I mean, it's not like we've disappointed or anything. We've had a good year, made a bowl for the first time and since 2018, and Brent Key's really got things turned around, and he's developing these guys. So I think that if we were to, I just don't think that the players would be, leaving because of any kind of like failure on the team's part, or the coaches are failing them. Which is different from what it used to be with Jeff Collins. We would see players who are like, I'm too good to play here. I'm freaking out. I don't think that's it. I think anybody committed to Tech, I think that they are, what they came here for is being realized, if that makes sense. So in other words, I don't think that like they would leave because they're not getting, the team, just sucks and they're not getting what they want done on the field. That being said, any of our players are liable to get poached because of NIL, which sucks. That's what happened with Nate McCullum and Zamari Walton, both of them, both starters last year, and both of them, hinted at wanting to come back. Well, not hinted, really. Nate did. He posted on Twitter, he was like, #hire Brent Key. So we hire Brent Key, you'd think, well, he hashtag wanted him freaking hired, so surely he's going to want to stay and play for him. Nope. He chases the bag to North Carolina. Is what it is. You know, kind of funny that he sucked this year. That makes me laugh. I don't really feel bad for him. And then, Zamari Walton, even more egregious, posts a hype video. So he hired a guy to freaking post a hype video for him coming back. And like the next week, he said he was leaving. It's like, damn, dude. Literally posts a freaking hype video saying that he's going to be... shut up! Saying he's going to be coming back, and then he freaking leaves. It's like, dude, unbelievable. So they both got poached because of freaking money. So, any of our players are liable to be poached away. Now, what players could be poached away? A lot of people have focused on Eric Singleton. Eric Singleton Jr., he's a true freshman. There's been a lot of arguments, a lot of conversation around him. Obviously, he's broke out this year, and he's really good, and he's a true freshman. A lot of times you'll see players just that are too good to play at Tech, and they'll, pop off and leave. Happened with, Jameer Gibbs and stuff like that. So a lot of people are worried about him, and then a lot of people aren't. So they're saying, well, he kind of fell off towards the end of the season. He stopped catching. Now, he did make up for it in the Georgia game. But, in the Syracuse and the Clemson game, he had a couple really bad drops. And for a while there, he was dropping, like, wide open passes. So a lot of people were like, well, his stock's not as high as you might think because of that reason. For me, I think, any team would be stupid not to want Eric Singleton Jr. I mean, he's clearly really good. Will they be willing to drop a bunch of money on him? I don't know. Now, I will say this about him. I saw on Twitter his dad and his aunt apparently posted that he loves Georgia Tech and he's not going anywhere and he's not the type to leave. So take that for what you will. A lot of people talk that way and stuff, but in the end, money talks, right? I hope he stays. He's freaking awesome. He's one of our best players and one of Haynes King's favorite targets, and would be really good. Would be really good in the receiver room if we were able to keep him. And then another player, Jamie Felix has entered, and I'm making this video right after I saw the news that Jamie Felix has entered the portal. He is a four-string running back this year. He was a true freshman last year, and he didn't really get on the field at all this year. So, four-string running back, I wish him the best. He seemed to be pretty good from what I saw last year. He'll probably go, if I had to guess, to like a lower status, like maybe a lower level Power 5 or like a Group of 5 team or something like that. I think he'd do fine there. And then another player that I kind of haven't seen a lot of people talk about is LaMiles Brooks and Clayton Powell-Lee for that matter. Now, I don't think that either of them have any interest in leaving. That's just my thought. But, said that before with Zamari Walton, who literally said he was going to come back. So, I don't know. But those are two of our best players on defense. I would be very upset if we lost them. LaMiles Brooks, one of my favorite players on the team. That guy is awesome. And he was dealing with some injury this year. I think he had a concussion or something towards the beginning of the year. And so he wasn't playing like he, was the year before. With some more help up front and, if he kind of gets over his injury, whatever was going on, and he had some more help from the linebackers and D-line, he's an awesome, awesome safety. So I'd really love to retain him. Whatever money we need to spend to retain him, we should, because LaMiles Brooks is one of the best players on our team. Now, that's just something that's just a guy that I thought that we need to keep. Like, I haven't heard he's transferring. I haven't, I don't know that he's, there's no rumors or anything like that. That's just a player I think we really need to retain. Jamal Haynes is another one. You just go around the list. Got to retain him. He's really good. Definitely our best running back. Of course, we lose Dante to the draft. Haynes King, I've seen some people worried about. Haynes King isn't transferring. He would have to sit out a year because he's already transferred, and I think he needs to graduate from here. And yeah, I'm not worried at all about Haynes King leaving. And why would he? I mean, he came here and completely turned around. The only thing that I would think, would maybe possibly drive Haynes King away is if, like, we lost our offensive coordinator or quarterbacks coach or something, which is very possible. Very possible. Any high school, higher kind of money school would be it would be a great idea for them to freaking hire Chris Winkie. He's one of the best quarterbacks coaches in the country, and he's a big part of Jeff Sims and now Haynes King's turnaround. So, one of the best, quarterback coaches in the country. The guy's freaking awesome. If he left, I could see maybe Haynes King looking at, but I just don't think he will. I mean, like I said, he'd have to sit out a year and all that. So I think he's going to stick around. There's no reason really for him to leave. He's, rebuilding himself here. There wouldn't make any sense for him to start over again, especially when, things are going well for him here. And then another big name that people have been talking about on the Georgia Tech transfer portal is Zach Pyron. Everybody's worried about Zach Pyron leaving. I've heard a lot of mixed things, and I've heard, a lot of people that are worried about him leaving. I'm kind of not. I heard from Kelly Quinlan, he said it on his show the other night, that Zach wants to graduate from Georgia Tech. And, of course, he loves Brent Key. And, he intends to get his degree from here, which is what I heard. Now, another thing is he is a fiercely competitive, okay? And his family, they're on Twitter and stuff, his mom and dad, and they want their son to play, and he wants to play. And it's not like they don't make it a secret. They want his ass on the field. And he belongs on the field. He's a really good quarterback. So, with Haynes King being here for the next couple years, it is possible you could see that. I mean, it would make sense. Pyron could start for someone. There's not a ton of film on him because he only was in for a couple games last year. But, he's got what it takes to be a starting Power 5 quarterback for sure. And as for me, I think he should probably stay. This is the first year in recent memory where we've got through the entire year without our quarterback getting hurt. And there was a couple times when Haynes King was really shaky. In the North Carolina game, he was like limping around. His hand was hurt. And, at any time, Pyron could go in and, light him up. So, I don't know. He's definitely, and then they've got packages with Pyron. They'll run him out there and let him run the ball or something like that. So they're trying to work Pyron in. They put him in certain situations. So it's they're getting him worked in, and you can tell they've invested in him and they want him to stay and they want him to play quarterback for us. But we got the two freshmen coming in this year. Graham Knowles and Aaron Philo. So the quarterback room is going to get pretty crowded, and it's going to be a talented room. There's going to be a lot of competition, and it's going to be pretty interesting to keep an eye on. So will Pyron leave? If I had to guess, I would say no, just based on what Kelly said. He's got the inside information, so no reason for me not to believe him. And yeah, so. I will make a video on my transfer portal wish list because, of course, the transfer portal taketh. That's what this video is kind of about players that are leaving and that could possibly leave. I think we'll be all right again. But like I said, the transfer portal taketh and the transfer portal giveth as well. And we need to get it from the freaking thing, okay? Because we have some immediate needs for sure, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Notice how I didn't mention any D linemen or linebackers transferring. Well, of all those groups, Kyle Eford and Zeke Biggers, if they transferred, I think that's our two best from each position group. If they transferred, that would really, really suck. But, I don't think so. I think we'll retain those guys. Look, they like playing for Key, and unless somebody comes and offer them a bag, and you never know. I mean, literally, Lane Kiffin came in last year and offered like our backup D lineman a bunch of money to come play for him. So it's like no player is safe, and you can't predict these kind of things. So, but in my opinion, of the overall team, I don't think anybody's leaving because they're disappointed with how they're getting developed or how the team is not underperforming or anything like that, because we've done pretty good is my point. I think they all love Brent Key, and I think we're going to be all right in the transfer portal, but we'll see. I'll definitely make a video of my transfer portal wish list. Anyway, go Jackets, and we'll see you guys next time.